Hello, everyone. Hope you're doing okay today or tonight, whenever it is. Um, I've been having difficulty sleeping lately, but I've been working on a lot and incorporating changes into my life. Just a quick update on that. So, that could be, and I'm stating that purely for scientific purposes, as that could be the variable factor causing me to lose sleep. The fact that I'm trying to build better habits and changing a lot of what I'm doing. And since I wanted to make a video, I just decided to pick up my phone because I was feeling restless right now and giving. So I wanted to give some energy back to the world in the form of video content. So, yeah, that's what this is all about, really. And one thing that was just that I've thought about a lot actually is that I am too giving to people sometimes that don't deserve that life. Like they are not earning their way into the spiritual right. It's a privilege to have certain rights, and privileges are earned. They're not freely given. So, at least that's the way that an ordered society, whether it be spiritual or non-spiritual, would work, is that you earn your way into receiving the benefits of liberty, of freedom and life in its fullest. So, and that is what I experience, is that I am deciding to balance out the fact, and I guess no one is perfect. Obviously, I'm not perfect, so sometimes I may be too generous to someone who doesn't deserve it, and that sounds and looks good, but our society nowadays is consistently, at least in the US, and I'm pretty sure other European countries as well, it's kind of based on looks. At least that's part of it, because there's also sects of society that don't base everything on looks. But what I mean by looks is you treat this group as better or with more care than this group, and that looks good in the context of political campaigns and propaganda that they're pushing in these specific sects that I'm talking about, and that is sects. And those sects are separate from the sects or sectors of society that are seeing things differently. Like the free thinkers, for instance, are gonna not feed into that politically politically overwhelmed mindset. So they're going to be able to, people that are free thinkers are going to let go of attachment to belief systems and be able to look past what looks good from a video or a video perspective, because nowadays everything's being monitored by phone video and by CCTV camera video and news video. It's all on video for you to view, but they're these things that look nice aren't necessarily the right thing for a true spiritual being to do, because if you are basing the way you treat someone on the way they look, that is judgmental, and it's a program being pushed by a certain sector of society. It doesn't matter how you look. It doesn't matter how the deed you're doing looks. What truly matters is it the right thing to do from a spiritual vantage point? Now, there is a tactical merit to acting in such a way that it looks in a way that will benefit you as a person. For instance, someone who I know and is in a spiritual community with me has told me that at their job they are being they have to, or even myself, I've had jobs where you're video monitored by your employer, and actually from pretty much my very first job. So looking into that one, if you want to do the right thing, or be okay, or look like you're doing okay, or whatever, looking good to appeal to the boss who's watching you on the cameras, you should act or do certain things that look appealing to the boss in that setting. And those type of jobs suck in some ways. It depends on the job, really. It can be kind of hard to deal with, but even in society these days, that is a factor. So I'm not going to say that factor is unimportant, that you it's not unimportant that you most likely are being video monitored wherever you are in public, in any country or place these days. So that in mind, there's a difference of living in this world and serving the world, which is a corrupt place that is how it is, and the way that the belief systems are in this world are thwarted, or they're warped, and they're not really identical or identifying as spiritual. A true spiritual perspective would be pretty unbiased, so it would be more objective, and that's a key factor to acknowledge in this. It doesn't pick sides. A true perspective like that wouldn't nitpick at every little thing that you do, and it wouldn't take one mistake seen on video and describe that as your whole totality of your personality. That's not a spiritual way to do things. It would look at you, it would be objective, it would see that you are the sum of your parts, or you have multiple parts, but there are certain things that cross a line. Like if you do something really bad and it's on video, obviously that means that you have a serious problem. Like if you kill someone or something and it's on a video, then obviously that's going to show that you're not a good person in society, and that you should be punished for doing that. If it was completely unprovoked and it was uncalled for, if it wasn't in self-defense or anything like that. And that would show from a spiritual perspective that you have a deeper seated issue. If it's just flat out cold-blooded, ending someone's life, that's not good, even spiritually looking at it. But then you have the world view, the living in the world, the living and doing our part to serve this world. That's what we are partially here to do as spiritual beings is be in the world and work in it and interact with it and respect it, even to the degree that it deserves respecting. And it's not as black and white when it comes to that. It's a little more subjective, which means it's open to various variables at all given times. It's a lot more chaotic. It's and that's natural. Even in nature, there's a lot of chaos in nature, but there is also order. And in the world, there is also chaos and there's also order. And let's say that you want to look at the world in that light. Well, like if you kill someone in the world and it was in self-defense, it at this point in the world, it depends on who the people were involved. Like in some cases, the world will justify a cold-blooded ending of someone's life and will prosecute or persecute a person who has justifiably been threatened, and their life has been threatened to be taken away from them, and they have subsequently done what needed to be done and ended the attacker's life, and those people will be persecuted in this world. Why? And that is because of subjective biases which are being programmed by certain sectors of the controllers, the cabal, the so-called elite, the so-called powers that be, sending that propaganda into the mainstream media, which is then downloaded into susceptible people who are susceptible to that type of attack. And it's an informational attack, and it's inserting itself into the person's thought process. So that's the difference of the world view and the spiritual view. They're very different, and both should be considered at all times when you're able to sit and reflect and sit and think about what you need to do to be an effective spiritual warrior out here in this realm. Or if you're able to meditate and take yourself out of this world, then you can also let go of the world momentarily and just focus on being more objective in that moment, maybe for a time being. But when you come back to this world, as long as you haven't fully given up the flesh and returned to the spirit, then you're coming back here. And when you're here in this world, meaning like if you temporarily meditate outside and get outside of this world and your thoughts and everything, and then like you're outside of this whole matrix system, if you will, this whole world, really, as people call it, the simulation, the system that we're in. If you get outside of that and you are just temporarily outside of it, like you haven't died essentially, and then you're back in it again, then it's then good to reconsider the best methods to act. So you want to make sure you're covering all your bases, that you're being spiritual, that you're giving yourself time to let go, to awaken your mind and rest it, and rest from all this stuff that's in the modern day world that you have to think about, like being on video camera, how everything you're doing looks to a subjective eye, and how a lot of entities and people and organizations and just groups of people that are programmed are judging you if they ever see you and see your every move, and they're judging very hard and extremely. So you want to be aware of that and get rest from it when you can, and think tactically about how you will insert yourself into this world and how you will behave in accordance with the laws of man while retaining your sovereignty as a divine spiritual entity. And that is it takes a lot of work and processing to really mesh the two together and to really find your groove. But you know what, that groove is always changing, so you gotta this life, this journey keeps you on your toes. That's it for this video. I'm pretty sure I made my point fairly clear, and hopefully I can get some rest before work tomorrow, and can focus on both the things I was talking about in this video as well. And I hope that you can apply yourself, and by listening to this, it has helped you to reawaken new parts of your mind and your psyche, and helped you to improve upon patterns that have already been developed by you, and that you can stay with the changes in the influx of energy in this realm and beyond. So I'm always grateful, and I'm expressing that gratitude right now for watching this video, and I hope that you have a great day or night wherever you are, and have a peaceful journey and enjoy the process of this journey. And yeah, I hope it's peaceful, and yeah, I'm grateful to you. Have a good day or night. See you in the next one. Peace. Signing off.